Hello, people. This is Krista coming to you to talk about symbols of cult groups. And if you grew up around these individuals, you grew up in California, places with a lot of actors and MK Ultra, then this message is for you. I want to say, as scripture says, you will know them by their fruit, and you will also know them by their symbols. So if you get to know the symbols of these occult groups, you'll get to know exactly who these people really are, whether you think they're a friend or a family member, or they're a family member. Um, you will know some of their spot. You will spot if when you can spot a symbol, you can kind of figure out who a person is. And this photo was taken. This grainy photo here is was taken from a video of Russell Brand and Katy Perry at the Vanity Fair award after Oscars show when he was flashing Katy Perry this little business card. It says obey. I think it looks backwards on my side. Um, obey, Obey, obey. Um, and after he flashed it, you can go and find the video. Just look up like Russell Brand, Katy Perry, Obey, and you can find this video where they have a brief interview with a newscaster, and then starts flashing and shaking this card kind of subtly, and Katy Perry gets a little bit flustered and sticks out her tongue and doesn't say much. So she's under mind control, and Russell Brand was her handler. Um, But other people don't have these business cards, right? So how do we spot them? Well, some women wear I've seen this pendant where it's just an O. It looks like just a simple ring, but it's an O ring on that's a pendant. I've seen those for on the around the body of a handler. I've also seen people, the Oregon duck symbol in the US is an O. It's just a green O. And green is a witchcraft color. And Oregon ducks is just a green O. And people on will have it like on the back of their cars. I've seen people that have it on the back of their cars in my current state, and it's not near Oregon. So they're trying to tell some of the mind control slaves, former mind control slaves, to be obedient. And so it's like a trying to keep a person in line kind of symbol, and trying to keep them to shut up, trying to keep them in place in line. Um, and maybe even it has a subtle threat to it. I don't know. But yeah, that's generally what the O means. When you look at the movie Obey, I'm sorry, They Live. The movie They Live, I think it was like in the late 70s or in the 80s, where he puts on the sunglasses and all of a sudden he sees all the subtle advertising. And it was one of the key words of the advertising underneath the ad was obey. It was consume, obey, and I don't know, watch TV or something like that. And when I was living in San Francisco for a period of time, there was this campaign that was plastered all over the city of Andre the Giant. If you guys remember who he was an actor, but he was really large. And this this artist named Shepard Fairey took his face, Andre the Giant, and made it graphic and put obey. And it was all over San Francisco, all over. It was obey everywhere in the city, and I was working in the city and living in East Bay at the time, so I'd see obey all over the city. If you look it up on Google, you'll find that poster. I didn't want to post it for copyright reasons. Um, but there was that, and I had a boyfriend at the time who was a handler, and he was a musician, and he did a whole song on Andre the Giant. So these are the ways they try to keep people in line, but they had this major campaign, and coincidentally, Shepard Fairey, he did the whole Obama campaign where he did the Hope poster, he did Kamala Harris's poster, you know, um I looked him up and I thought, well, maybe his parents are military. Like, how did he get into this mind control game? And he was actually allegedly his parents were not military. His father was a doctor, his mother was a real estate agent, grew up on the East Coast, went to, California college, and also RISD on the East Coast. And I don't, maybe, he got into it from a pair relative, but these are clearly mind control tactics and tools. And I just thought it was fun and funny, all the references. And you can look at people who want to continue to keep people obedient by their symbols. So you will know them. Or maybe they'll do a hand sign. A lot of them have, hand gestures for obey. I don't know exactly what those hand gestures are, but if you feel triggered, in a public place and someone makes a weird hand sign, then you'll know that they're trying to send some sort of message. But I look for like organ ducks and the pendant or a couple of the others. And then the Andre the Giant, was I think that was in the late 80s, early 1990s that they did the Andre Giant poster. And apparently in witchcraft circles, they'll try to summon up giants, dead giants, spirits of dead giants. You could look up stories like that, but I don't know why they would want to do that, why they would want to summon those spirits, but allegedly they do. And I wonder about Andre the Giant. He didn't look fully human, that actor. He had a really weird face. I mean, obviously, it was oversized. He was probably the 7 foot tall or something. Is definitely oversized man. But whether he was fully human or a crossbreed of something, we don't know. I think he's dead now. Anyway, that's my rant on looking for the symbols of people, because if we know the symbols, we know their fruit, then we know who to avoid, as we continue to heal ourselves from whatever trauma we've endured. All right. Thanks for listening.